The Fan Connections Road to WrestleMania. The road starts here.
So we're taking it all the way back to WrestleMania 1, and we're willing to highlight all the key matches and moments
from WrestleMania 1 to WrestleMania 40 to get us ready for WrestleMania 41.
And as soon as WWE Wargames Survivor Series has ended, y'all get ready, y'all buckle up.
Let's get to it. November 11th, Monday Night Raw.
Damian Priest and Gunther started out with a segment, and pretty much Damian Priest put Gunther on his ass with this one.
Yeah, he made Gunther look scared.
Gunther didn't have anything to say really either. It took Ludwig Kaiser coming out there and trying to get all up in his business.
And even with that, I mean, that didn't really slow Damian down. It seems like he's ready, right?
He seems more ready than Gunther, for sure.
And it's like something's definite. Like Damian is a little bit right about Gunther. Like something's changed after he lost to Cody, because it's like he said, he's like, we need to be better, you know, to him and Ludwig, and it's a little crazy. I just don't really know what's gotten into him. This isn't the ring general.
Then in our first match, we get Damage Control versus Pure Fusion Collective. Oh, where y'all been, ladies?
Hey.
But also, we get a returning Dakota Kai.
Hey, let's go. And, you know, forgive me, I love Damage Control. But Dakota Sky's return, I don't know if it's that big of a thing. And then it's like, I'm sorry, Pure Fusion Collective, you're barely on TV, and then you lost. And it's like, there's no shame in losing to the best, right? To the so-called number one contenders. But
and Io Sky's she's just really good at what she does.
PFC is nothing. And if they're not going to do anything with them, then I just don't understand why we're still seeing them. But in the next match, we got Pete Dunne defeating Kofi Kingston.
And of course, you got some Xavier going off in the background behind the ref's back, trying to causing, distraction and whatnot. That's going to make Kofi mad.
And it's kind of Xavier's fault that Kofi is in this match to begin with anyway. Because he's got Kofi so mad, and everything. And he's bothering Pete Dunne and everything. And they're mad at each other. And then, not only that, Xavier is gonna get involved in his match and mess him up. He didn't even help him, and then it's Kofi's fault somehow.
Yeah, and he's mad at Kofi about it at the end. It's crazy. Xavier just needs to go ahead and turn heel if he's gonna do it.
Yeah, he's
what's he gonna take, a Big E nut punch?
Yeah, I don't have any idea. It seems like they're not even friends anymore for real. So it's like. They're trying to get to the 10-year anniversary, but you're telegraphing this really hard. Maybe now's the time to pull a swerve.
Yeah, for sure. And then the next little segment, Big Bronson Reed calls Seth Rollins out there all hollering and screaming and whatnot. He's like, come out here and let me fight you. And they get into another brawl. Yes, yeah. Another brawl.
It is basically, Seth Rollins, you beat me. But then I come out and I beat you. I just cost you your shot at facing Gunther for the title. And so, poor Adam Pearce, man. His poor throat. All he seems to do on Raw is run around and stop. There's just brawls. All these security guards, people just keep getting fighting. And he's like, stop, stop.
And week out, Adam Pearce out there screaming and hollering about some men going at it somewhere they're not supposed to.
They're kind of overdoing the brawl segments, aren't they, though?
Especially on Raw.
And it's not even just with these guys. It's just kind of happens a lot. It happens pretty often
Maybe
now.
It's just the thing for Bronson Reed. I don't know, because, I remember in the Braun Strowman rivalry, they did a lot of stuff like that, too. So maybe that's just his nick. I don't know.
Damian Priest defeats Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah, after the first segment on Raw, Ludwig Kaiser like came out like we said earlier and tried to like get in Gunther's business, and Damian Priest knocked him out, right? So it leads into this match, and obviously Damian Priest is a lot more focused, like we said earlier, and he's gonna get that dub on Ludwig.
He's making Imperium look silly.
Like Ludwig's finna get that Giovanni Da Vinci treatment here soon, I think. Gunther's better off by himself, maybe.
If he doesn't ship up, something's bound to happen because the mindset's changed already, like we said. And I don't know if Ludwig Kaiser is adapting well to the new way Gunther's wanting to do things.
He definitely needs to hold up his end a little better, you know.
But yeah, Damian Priest is looking really good.
Then in our next segment, we get a Final Testament segment, and what we thought the Miz was getting like tormented by him, and like, you know, they come out to the ring and they're like, "Oh no, please don't hurt me," and then boom, here they come, the White Six, right? And then like Miz choreographed all of this, bro. Ends with a chair shot to Eric Rowan. They brawl out, and then they leave the White Six laying, bro. How'd you feel about that?
Yeah, I guess the Miz choreographed this whole thing. Like, he got abducted, and then he gained, like, the Wyatt's, like, favor or whatever. They let him go. He's like, "I learned my lesson, please." And they let him go. And then he stages this thing where it looks like the Final Testament's about to break his legs. And then the Wyatts come to save him just for him to double-cross them again. It's like, I didn't know it was like that.
It's like, you know, you can get re-kidnapped.
Yeah, I didn't know it was like that, Miz. It's crazy, man. For the Final Testament not to win, like, a competition in a while, I'm wondering how they're going to fare, because I don't think the Wyatt Six can afford to lose, like, the actual match.
Yeah, I don't either. I feel like they would have to come out on top for this to be what it's supposed to.
It's cool that they got like a sneaky little thing in, like they're trying to build that Karrion Kross is really smart and things like that. And I'm a sucker for a supervillain like who's really smart. In the main event, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defeat Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
And Devin, I know me and you guys sit here and talk about this one for a second. There's a lot of nitpicking I need to do myself. Like, for one, bro, like, the match itself was like, it was alright, but like at the end, why was Nia Jax there?
I don't know, I'm confused on that too. I just don't, I'm a little confused on what's going on.
Why was Naomi there?
They've been kind of beefing. It's like people have just been running in on each other kind of indiscriminately, it seems. And now certain people are teaming up, and the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions have beaten both the World Champions and their best friend. And it's like the Money in the Bank holder and the WWE Women's Champion are worried about what these other people are doing. Why is Nia Jax trying to help Liv Morgan defeat Bianca and them for their titles? Like, weren't you guys just beefing at Crown Jewel?
And didn't y'all just have like 14 run-ins on each other on different brands?
You don't like either of these teams, but you're trying to help one win over the other rather than like stop the match or anything. I don't understand that decision.
I think it's about time for a new women champion. Either Liv Morgan or Nia Jax one has to drop that thing.
I think the time is coming for a new champion. Because I feel like things are so jumbled up. It's just so hard to keep track of.
Even if Naomi has to beat Nia Jax at Wargames or where I think she's got a title match coming up. When her title match does come around, I feel like she could lose it to Naomi the way it's going.
And then, not even that, Io Sky comes out to help run the baddies off, you know? And it's just, I guess they're trying to build a Wargames team. It just seems a little crazy, like they just kind of thought of this all in one night or whatever.
Well, no, because Io Sky's supposed to be #1 contender for Liv's title now too, remember?
Yeah, I just
So it's all really confusing on the women's side because like now Raw and SmackDown's kind of jumbled up together, and now we're really not getting any creative side of anything.
yeah, I just don't get it. I just don't understand what's going on.
In other sports news, we're going to talk about some other segments that weren't as main on Raw, and then we're going to get into some other stuff. So the first little one we want to talk about was Seth freaking Rollins refused. Like, he refused. He said, no, I don't want to do that to Sami Zayn. He refused his offer to be in Wargames.
Yeah, Seth, he said, I will never work with Roman Reigns again. That's the quote. That's what he said. Shield or no Shield, you know, everything that happened in between them. He said, I will never work for Roman Reigns again because he's just different now. And it's like, of course, there's that whole thing. Seth's the reason Roman acts the way he does now. And I just...
And then right after that, Seth's walking like out the building, I think, like later on in the night, and then Solo tries to recruit him. He's like, well, I know you hate Roman, so how about you fight with me?
And then so Seth Rollins says, I don't want to work with the real Roman Reigns. Why would I work with a fake Roman Reigns? And that's pretty bad. Solo didn't even have nothing to say. Jacob Fatu tried to step in. Seth Rollins and Jacob Fatu is money. But that Seth Rollins, I mean, he just cut two really good promos.
And then another one, the final one we want to talk about, get into, was the Judgment Day was backstage having a little, chat, and Finn Balor's getting all over the edge with Dirty Dom telling him, like he needs to get his stuff together and everything. He's like, well, I've been closer to the title than you ever have here recently because I beat Damian. What have you done, pretty much? And like, Finn Balor didn't like that.
Finn Balor, something's up with him too. I feel like he's kind of got this attitude, right? Like the War Raiders got in his head, and then Dom is in his head, and it's like Damian's about to get another shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. Something's about to happen.
But I don't know how many of y'all know already, but there are leaks out for next week. We're going to obviously do next Monday, but we're not going to exactly say what happens or anything. But there's leaks. You can look them out on your own accord. Stuff like this, like having a podcast, we hate crap like that because, I mean, it does put a stint in some things because, I mean, a lot of you already know, so you don't have to listen next week. But at the same time, it's good for the superstars to have a time off to be able to spend time with their families because, dude, I know when we were kids watching, like, they'd have shows live all through every holiday and everything, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, you know what I mean, then start right back into Royal Rumble, you know what I mean? So it's good for them to get a break and be able to actually spend time with their families and stuff. So, I mean, it's a love-hate relationship with that.
Yeah, with the holidays coming up, pre-recorded shows are going to become a little bit more common for the time being, and so spoilers and leaks will be out.
Especially on SmackDown, because I've actually been looking up the tapings here recently, and I think like 2 or 3 weeks are supposed to be double recorded on SmackDown and like 2 weeks on Raw. So, I mean, we're gonna do what we can, Obviously, y'all get a lot of it before we're able to get ours up, but just stick with us. We're here to ride.
All right, guys, thank you for listening. Let us know down in the comments, what do you think about Seth joining in Wargames? Do you think he could? Or do you think that his word is his word this time?
Let us know down below what you think is going to happen to The Miz. You think he's going to get re-kidnapped, or you think he's going to be okay?
And do you think the Judgment Day might implode? Catch it all in the next episode. And that's about it for this episode.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
As for the fan connection, we're out of here.